Yo, what is good, YouTube? We are back with another video. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are hitting that like button and that sub button. We are on the grind, keeping our streak alive of posting every single day so far since whenever we started. I don't know. We didn't start at the beginning of the game, but we're on like a 6-day streak, and that's something that's already 6 more videos than we posted last year. 2K finally gave us a good game. At least I think so. Some people don't like it because it's shooting, whatever it is, but I at least enjoy it, and I'm going to keep bringing out content for you guys. With that being said, today we are going to be doing the first of many. It is going to be the first snipe video in NBA 2K25. With sniping this year, obviously it's back, but it's not back completely yet. I don't know if anybody's been seeing, but there's been kind of an issue going on with the auction house moderator that 2K kind of has going on, where it's actually canceling out some people's snipes. So I would pay attention to that. Some of the more risky snipes, like the ones where it's just like it seems too good to be true, 2K is actually just canceling those out and giving you your MT back. So that's kind of killed sniping this year. They have fixed it 70%. So that's why we are coming out with this video today, because I believe that now is a good time that we can finally go ahead and start sniping and actually be rewarded for it. With that being said, there are still some cases where 2K is kind of just taking away people's snipes. They're valid, legit snipes, and people are kind of taking them away. So I would keep in mind that there's only one risky filter on here, and it's going to be the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out the way, which it's only risky if you get like crazy lucky. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. That first filter is just going to simply be the pink diamond buyout filter. And what I mean by it's only risky if it's crazy is if you get a pink diamond for 10,000 MT, you're going to be it's going to be suspicious to 2K for whatever reason. Obviously, that's you spending hours and hours on this filter. Maybe you get lucky and it pops up in, a few minutes. But this is a filter that is going to be very low reward. But if you have time, if you're sitting there, watching YouTube, whatever you're doing, maybe you're watching my video right now and you just want to sit here and do this. Probably the snipe I suggest the least, but we go ahead and get it out the way here with the first one. The next one is going to be a mid-tier kind of snipe for people who don't have a ton of MT, but do have a little bit to play with. It is going to be the Amethyst lowest. And when you guys see my maximum buyouts that I'm setting these at, this is where I would set it as of right now. The cheapest Amethyst for me is about 9,500. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to maximum buyout 7,000. I would still set your max bid up to 100K so you can ticker through that. That definitely helps, as it has in past years. Just come down, tick that over 1, and for whatever reason, I just think it makes it load just a little bit faster. It's kind of been that way forever. It kind of just resets it and doesn't confuse it as much. I'm not really sure what the explanation is behind it, but for our sniping veterans, everybody knows that that's always been a thing. So I would sit on that filter. You should see a lot of stuff pop up around 7K. If you get things down in the 2s and 3s, then you're really starting to make big profit. Getting in the next one, it is going to be player specific. It is going to be one of my favorite Oklahoma City players when he's playing defense. Now, when he comes down to the offensive side of the ball, things happen. Sometimes not very good, but he does play great defense. He's a great defender. I will say that. We love Dort for what he does. We don't love Dort for what he tries to do. I think sometimes he thinks that he's actually Shea, and he gets just a little bit carried away. But with that being said, his card right now is set at about 25 to 26,000. So go ahead and put this at 20K. Set on this for, I'd give it like 15 minutes. If you don't get at least 1 or 2, really more than that, but if you don't see 1 or 2 in 15 minutes, I would go ahead and get off this filter. Player-specific filters, they are tough. You don't see a lot of cards pop up because there's only one player that you can see pop up, other than, when you're sitting on Amethyst, there's a bunch of Amethyst or Pink Diamond. Even though Pink Diamond is very unlikely, there are still a fair bit. What are there, 4 or 5 at this point? 4 or 5 is obviously more than 1. But with that being said, I would give that filter about 15 to 20 minutes. Getting into the next one, this is going to be for people who have just a little bit more MT to play with. It is going to be the diamond lowest. Cheapest diamond right now for me is about 70K. Now, always keep in mind that 2K does tax you 10% on these. So if you snipe them for 60 and you sell them for 70, they're going to take 7,000 away. So you're not making a lot. So I would put this at 60. Honestly, I would maybe even go down to like 55 to 57. But I would put this somewhere in that range, whatever you're comfortable with making. If you put it up to 60, you're probably going to see just a couple more than you would at 55. But for me, 55 is what makes it worth it. Anything under 55, you're going to make a good 10K MT off of, and it actually is going to make it worth sitting here. This is another one of those very low result kind of filters. You're not going to see a ton of stuff pop up here. It will be a slow grind, but if you get something in 20-30k and you see that within 15-20 minutes, you're going to flip it for about 30 to 40,000 MT, and then all of a sudden that is going to become a really, really good snipe. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the next one. It is going to be another player specific, but just a little bit easier of a player specific. It's actually just going to be Dikembe Mutombo. He's got this Ruby card that just came out today, part of the Ironclad set, and you are going to set this to 5,000. Cheapest one for Dikembe right now is about 7,500. Now keep in mind, this is the day of the packs dropping, so this will change. I will pay attention to that. For anybody who wants to use that, pay attention and make sure that he's still selling for what he is. If he goes down to 6k, I'd probably adjust this filter to more like 4,000, 4,500 max. But just make sure you're keeping that in mind. I would check all of these just to make sure that what I'm saying their actual buyout is still what it is. And then if it goes down, say a card was 60k, there's a snipe, we're going to go ahead and grab that. So nice little just W snipes there. This is a big reward kind of filter. You're going to see a lot of these pop up, as you guys saw right there, one pops up. With that being said, getting into the next filter, it is going to be just simply the 500 filter, another one for people who just have a lot of time. It's going to be minimum buyout 500. This is going to be, or maximum buyout 500, sorry. This is going to be something, I almost freaked out there. Let's make that clear. I almost just bought like 10 cards that I did not want. This is going to be something where you buy anything, no matter what it is, whether it's an emerald or whether it's a pink diamond, you were going to grab it. Any of those are going to quick sell. I believe emeralds do quick sell for more than 500. But regardless, they sell for more than that. So whatever you see on this filter, like I said, filter for really people with patience. This is going to be another patience filter. You're not going to see a lot pop up. You'll definitely see more pop up than the pink diamond. You'll see more pop up than the diamond. But I would say if you're not getting at least 5 every 10 minutes, at least seeing 5. You might not get 5, but if you're not at least seeing 5, really more in a 10-minute span, I would go ahead and get off this filter and move on to the Dikembe one. If you're trying to get a cheaper filter, that's what I would do. But wrapping it up, we're going to do one more cheap filter. It is actually just going to be the Ruby lowest, and we are going to put it at 1,500. Cheapest Ruby right now. Wow, look at that. I mean, that was within... Oh, I see what I did here. Sorry. Ruby Ironclad lowest is what it's supposed to be. I apologize for that. Cheapest Ruby Ironclad right now is going for 2,600 MT. So at 1,500, it's going to take 260 off. You'll make about 700 MT. Another one of those filters where you're going to see a lot of cards pop up. Buy whatever you see. They're all going to be worth about the same. They're all worth about 2,600. And with that being said, with that mistake of not seeing the Ironclad on what I had here, there is also one more snipe filter. This one's going to be very specific. It is going to be set your theme to power surge, set your bid to 100,000. So set your minimum bid to 100,000 and set your minimum buyout to 500. I don't have the MT to buy it anyways. That's not really a snipe. That's been up for 6 minutes. I thought it was for just a second. You're not going to buy Paul Pierce. You're looking for Draymond, you're looking for Brandon Roy, and you're looking for any pink diamonds. That did look like a snipe for just a second, I will admit. But that is not a snipe. I would not buy Paul Pierce's. I would be looking for, like I said, Brandon Roy, Draymond, and any of the pink diamonds. I want to say that Paul Pierce is like 70k, isn't he? Let's just go ahead and check for just 1 second. The Paul Pierce, just out of curiosity, is cheap. Yeah. So with that being said, I would play around with that filter just a little bit, but you're really looking for Brandon Roy, Draymond, or any of the pink diamonds. Not my favorite filter. That's why I stuck it at the end. But I know a lot of people have had a lot of success with that one. That one actually isn't really a snipe of mine. That's just one that I've been seeing on Twitter. A lot of people have been using that and doing really well with it. With that being said, I appreciate everybody who did check into the first snipe video of the year. If you guys have any good snipes of your own that you want to share, maybe they'll end up in the video next time. But honestly, if you got a good snipe filter, you should probably keep it to yourself and leave me to be the one to find all the good snipe filters and share them. With that being said, I appreciate it all. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the love. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hitting the sub button, and I'm out.